Okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to go through a ton of news and continue with your calls in the next hour. For the 20-something people on hold, if you want to hang up, you can, or you can call back. I want to open the phones up again in the next hour at 1-800-259-9231 or 888-201-2244. I've got this Washington Times article, Inside the Beltway. It says Jennifer Harper, explosive news. And 1,000 architects and engineers earlier in the week, Richard Gage leading them, had an international simulcast from different areas of the world all into this big conference. Australia, England, Germany. There's former German defense ministers, a number 2 in the Japanese government. All of these people coming out saying it looks like inside job. And that's why the system keeps attacking 9/11 truth, because the public is learning that we were lied to about 9/11. And it's coming out the underwear bombing situation was staged. I got a big stack. Like, where's my file? Big developments on the Joe Stack kamikaze attack, looking more and more like a staged deal as well on that front, and that's coming up. But we're going to cover that in a moment. I did get a hold of Ted. He'd been out of town. He's actually back in the office. So he's going to be in studio with us in just a minute. He's getting in there right now at the Genesis studios up in Minneapolis, St. Paul area. I guess they're in Burnsville, to be precise. But since I said I would play this Pat Robertson clip where he was saying Obama is unstoppable, he is of the Lord, I'm starting to like him now, and all these other things, all the neocons, everybody was saying he was unstoppable, his agenda will go through. They wanted it to go through. The people stood up and said no. So now he's using executive orders to go around the Congress. Okay? But let's go ahead and play this Pat Robertson video/audio clip. Here he is right after Obama got elected.
The Lord said, the economy of your nation will recover. The steps taken will lead to a dramatic increase in the power of government. The people will welcome socialism in order to relieve their pain. Nothing will stand in the way of a plan by Obama to restructure the economy in the same fashion as the New Deal in the 30s. America will never again have the power in the world that it has enjoyed since World War II. With no strong leadership, dangerous dictators will arise in various parts of the world.
That's enough. And then he goes on to say Obama's of the Lord and he's good. In fact, here are some of the quotes. Obama's middle-of-the-road cabinet consists of people hailing from the Council on Foreign Relations, Rhode Island Commission, the Secret of Bilderberg Group. Let me find the quote. I am remarkably pleased with Obama. I had grave misgivings about him, but so help me, he's come in forcefully, intelligently. He's picked a middle-of-the-road cabinet, and so far, if he continues down this course, he has the makings of a great president, Pat Robertson. He's saying socialism will save you. It's a good thing. The economy's going to get better. Really, nothing's going to stand in the way of Obama? And that was back when they were all supporting the banker bailout. Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, Pat Robertson, the left, because it was an establishment move. At the top of the food chain, the establishment supported it. And now Glenn Beck and others hope you don't remember that. That's my point. So it's pretty disgusting. All right, I want to get into all this news, but I thought I'd bring Ted Anderson up because I had never talked to Ted in the last month with this Kramer ad running. And Ted was telling me off air, yeah, I kind of wish he'd have dropped, but they just re-upped again. You know, the issue, and Ted said it eloquently during the break. I said, why don't you come on air and say that? He said, look, they didn't refuse the ad for your videos on Michael Savage and George Norrie, and George is a good guy, and Limbaugh. And why are we going to refuse their ads? This is I mean, that would be, I guess, a form of censorship to them. But again, anything we do is going to be criticized. I'm not getting any money from this. It's a stupid newsletter. The point is, I mean, I guess censor Kramer. He's obviously getting a big response. What does that say for advertising? That the Kramer's coming to us for advertising. I mean, I guess Ted, who turns down most of the ads that come into him, and I guess you just can't do anything right, Ted, can you?
No, it's always a crapshoot as to how the audience will respond. But this one is really kind of has me baffled because here you have, I mean, first of all, I did see video footage of him supporting Ron Paul, which has me puzzled. I know he's on mainstream television. And why does mainstream television need to come to us for our audience to buy newsletters from Kramer? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. But the whole point is that, where do you draw the line? Where does censorship start, and when does it stop? Well, how far down that slippery slope do I want to go? And quite honestly, Alex, when we have media buyers that are wanting to support the movement that we're doing. I mean, they used to avoid us like the plague. I still have it. I mean, you should see the email response I have back from KSTP AM 1500 here in Minneapolis, a 50,000 watt clear channel station, blowtorch. I mean, they simply flat out refused to pick up your show. And, and the reason why they did it is because they don't like your content. And, I get so sick and tired of the censorship. It drives me crazy. I mean, if I canceled all the shows that I've had requests to cancel on my network, I wouldn't have even one single show running on this network. I mean, people want me to stop your show. They want me to start other shows. I mean, the whole thing's crazy. And, this Kramer thing, they came in, it was a media buyer they bought. They're getting great results. That just tells me that the Alex Jones show is smoking out there. And
by the way, these ad agencies, they want to get a response for their buyer so they get the ad money again.
That's exactly what that's about. And so obviously there's a lot of people calling them up and wanting to see what this newsletter is about. And it also tells it tells you how big your audience has grown. I mean, you take a look, if you go to Alexa.com and you type in InfoWars, and then you compare it to what would be the next largest site that you would think of, or maybe even bigger, how about RushLimbaugh.com, and do a comparison and see who's doing better. Alex, your audience on the internet is bigger than anything else out there on radio, bar none. And the world is seeing that now. And as far as I'm concerned, this is carrying the message into a camp that normally wouldn't take this message. I mean, it's kind of like you can take the example of Jesus Christ. He didn't sit there and hang out with all of his followers. He never talked to the crowd. He wasn't preaching to the choir. He went out and found the wicked. And isn't that what this is about? Don't we want to carry the Alex Jones show, and make a bigger impression? I keep on getting accused of trying to support these people, but how are we ever going to be able to, to mold this nation back to its founding fathers with the roots of, the Constitution and what this great nation stands for, if we're not going to be welcoming people to listen to this type of a message? Well,
let's expand on that, and then I want to get into news, Ted. Speaking of a newsletter that I do endorse and think is great, you are offering still free. Bob Chapman's International Forecaster comes out twice a week. Get it in hard copy or digital. Free when somebody buys a European gold 1/5 of an ounce franc, and you have that at lower in the market than what it's currently selling for. So it's already a smoking deal to get the franc coin, and you get one, and then you get the newsletter. So let's talk about something very positive here. Let's talk about Bob Chapman's International Forecaster.
Well, Bob Chapman's International Forecaster is hands down the best newsletter that you can get your hands on. I mean, 40, 50, 60 pages. And it's the people that are in the know, the people that have taken the time to educate themselves are going to be the people that are going to survive what's coming to us. I mean, I don't know if people really have a good grasp about what's really happening to this country right now and the economic situation that we're in. But you really need to be educated. Information is the key to survival in this environment. There's hands down, that's what you need to have. That's why I'm making this offer. I mean, you're going to have a 1/5 of an ounce of gold that's yours to keep, to use wherever you want to sell it. I don't care. You don't even have to sell it to Midas. It holds value across the world, and they're at $249.61. And then we turn around and we pay for that subscription for Bob's newsletter, the International Forecaster, and he's going to send it to you for a year for free. Either you can have it emailed to you, or you can have it sent right through the United States Post Office. Either way, it doesn't matter. You're going to get.
And it's 40-something pages or more on average. Folks, here's the number, 800-686-2237, 800-686-2237. Again, 800-686-2237. And briefly, Ted, some of the other great deals you've got on silver and other gold coins.